Following the release of my first book, Kyren, the Light of Amla, I immediately got to working on book two, Kyren, Daughters of Rage. I look back on these and obviously there are things that I would change just as I've learned more over time. But writing these books back to back allowed me to just kind of keep that narrative going. I was in a very good headspace narratively where I felt like, okay, I can take some of these ideas that I started on and really start to flesh them out. Because again, this wasn't something that I sat down and I really thought out in advance. It was a situation of when I woke up, I told my mom, like, I want to write books. I just sat down. I think I spent maybe a week figuring out my main character's name, figuring out the planet that she would be from. And then after I got that, I pretty much just sat down and got to writing. I just kind of let the story unfold. One thing about me when it comes to writing the stories and just formatting them, I write them like I am watching a movie, and I kind of let that dictate where the story's going a lot of times. Sometimes to a fault, I have to reel it back in. But with this one, with book two, Daughters of Rage, it's like, okay, I've established these characters. What would I imagine seeing next if I was watching this as a multi-part franchise or, episodes of TV? And it picks up 5 years later, actually. Why did I do 5 years back then? I could not tell you. I think it was to age the characters up a bit, to get them closer to, I think they started, if I remember correctly, I think they started right around 18, 19, and then I did the 5 year time skip to age them up, allow some time for things to happen within the universe, give them time to become more acquainted with their abilities and things like that. Hindsight, probably wouldn't have done that, but it is what it is. Nonetheless, I am still immensely proud of the book that followed. Daughters of Rage follows it's the title. They follow, sorry, Daughters of Rage follows the Light of Amla because the main antagonist that is introduced, Lord Rage, these are his daughters. They come into play and contribute to the narrative in the way that they do. I felt like this first trilogy of books that I had started unintentionally, but started nonetheless, really helped me get into the flow of writing, because I always write for songs, but getting into writing in narrative format, storytelling format, in long form, because I'm not telling a 3 to 5 minute long story within a song. I can repeat sections like that. I have to go through hundreds of pages and have this interconnected narrative. Daughters of Rage also came out in 2018. I believe the entirety of the first trilogy came out in 2018, where I started at the top of the year writing and just kept knocking it out. They're not long, which is probably what contributed to that a little bit. But nonetheless, it was a great experience to be able to sit and work on these stories and build these characters out and see how they all come into play within the larger narrative. So Kyren, Daughters of Rage is also available now on Barnes & Noble and Amazon. I believe Daughters of Rage is on sale on Barnes & Noble right now because it just had an anniversary, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, paperback, and Kindle, Kyren, Daughters of Rage, book two in the Kyren series is available now.